everybody. I know you're as excited as I was to learn about the RAT framework, so we're just going to dive right into it. Maybe. All right, so the RAT framework is a simplified form of the SAMR framework, and it helps current and future educators when they are deciding what technology they want to adopt and integrate into their classrooms, and it just kind of gives them a layout of how to do that and how to know if what they're doing is successful or not. So the first part of RAT is R, the replacement. And what this is it's just replacing traditional ways of teaching with technology. And one way you can do this is replacing a paper quiz or test with an electronic one. And obviously, there's going to be some students who can't always get a hold of technology to be able to do this. Or maybe your school is underfunded, so you don't have enough Chromebooks or iPads for all your students. But you could do this in the computer lab, or you could have paper copies just in case. The second part of RAT is amplification, and this is just when the lesson is made more productive and efficient through technology without losing the fundamentals of what the lesson is about. And you can do this by adding videos or Google Map tours to a lesson. I had a teacher in high school who had us take a Google Map tour of the pyramids, and it's still sticking with me like 4 years later. Super cool. Students love to do that kind of stuff. It also gives them a chance to get up and kind of walk around and move their feet. You can also add things like Skype interviews to help supplement your lesson without losing what you want it to be about. And the end of RAT is transformation, and this is creating a lesson that would be impossible without technology. Now, for me, this was the hardest part because I'm a paper person. I wouldn't suggest an electronic textbook to students when they can have it in their hands and they can highlight and underline and like dog ear pages. But I think having a fully technological lesson would be helpful in the moments where you have web quests to help with research. I think web quests are a great way for students just to get familiar with how research is for writing papers or for finding resources that are credible and such things along that line. So how do you make sure that the RAT framework is successful in your classroom? Well, in order to do that, you look at three criteria. And the first one is instructional method. And this is just looking at the educator's role with the technology in the classroom, how the educator interacts with the students and the technology. But it's also how teachers assess students as well as the teacher's professional development and preparation with the technology. Student learning process is another part of the criteria, and this is making sure that the activity and the task at hand is challenging enough for the students, but also that they're enjoying it. It's making sure that students are thinking critically and really diving into their mental processes, making sure students are motivated with the lesson and the technology that goes with it, but also student attitude towards the technology in the lesson. And the last part is curriculum goals. And this is just knowledge that is gained and applied, experiences for the students that are gained and applied, the typical outcomes you want at the end of a normal lesson. Making sure all of those curriculum goals, the student learning process needs, and also teacher needs, making sure all of those are met for a successful RAT model. And why would we as future educators use this? Well, integrating technology into the classroom in a successful way helps turn electronic devices that could be distractions into tools for learning. And when those distractions become tools, it helps foster equitable learning, because when one person is distracted by something on their phone, it can distract another person. But with the RAT model, it really turns those distractions into tools, as I have already said multiple times at this point. And lastly, we have this little RAT model that I made on my own through the website that Rachel showed us on Friday in class. Obviously, I didn't use it in my presentation because I ended up breaking the RAT into separate slides, but I was proud of it, so here it is. And lastly, we have my sources. All right, there you have it, the RAT model. I hope you all have a fun and safe weekend and that everybody stays warm.